Another remote desktop program that you can use in Linux is TeamViewer. I've never used it before, but let's give it a shot. I'm at TeamViewer.com and I've clicked on download, and you can see here that there is a version for Linux here, and what we can do is we can download the Debian Ubuntu 32-bit package. So we'll do that, and I'll just save the file. Okay, so that's downloading right now, and I'll pause the video, and when it's done downloading, we'll see if we can get it installed and get it working. Okay, TeamViewer is done downloading, so we'll close this, and we'll close our browser. Okay, let's go find our downloaded package. So what I'm going to do is I'll do a cd downloads ls, and there is our package, our Debian package that we downloaded from the website. So let's use the Debian package manager to install it. So we'll say dpkg --install and then TeamViewer_linux.deb and hit enter. And it says we need super user privileges, which I forgot to put in. So we'll start it off with a sudo space. All right. Okay, and it looks like it is attempting to unpack TeamViewer 7. All right, looks like it worked. Okay, so I'll clear that out. Let's see if we can find it by searching for it here. TeamViewer 7. Okay, there it is. So I'll launch it, and we'll take a quick look at it. Okay, here's TeamViewer. Okay, so TeamViewer is running on our Ubuntu Linux machine. I'm running this in a virtual box, and you can see it here. I'm going to need this ID and this password to connect to it. So you can see here your ID, right, and the password. All right, so I'm going to need those. And now I'll pull this to the side. And by the way, it seems that TeamViewer is used for much more than just remote desktop connections. It looks like it could be used also for all kinds of purposes like team meetings, shared desktops, teleconferencing, video conferencing, audio conferencing, all kinds of extended meeting, online meeting types of applications. So anyway, I'm going to drag this to the side, and if we're going to do this, we're going to need to set up a Windows client. So for the Windows client, I'm at TeamViewer.com, and here's Windows, and I'll scroll down here and see if we can get the TeamViewer full version. So I'll click Download, and I'll save it to the desktop. Okay, we've downloaded TeamViewer to the desktop. I'll close that. There it is. I'm going to run the installation on my Windows 7 client here. Once again, I've got Linux running in a virtual box here to the side. So we'll run this. All right, install. Personal non-commercial use. And okay. Okay. All right, now it's been installed. Let's launch it. All right, there it is. And now what I need to do is to use it, it looks like all I have to do is put in my partner ID, which was right over here. 416, let's say. All right. And remote control of the machine or file transfer. So we'll say connecting to the partner, put in the password. And log on. And there it is. There is the TeamViewer connection. And now I've got a remote desktop session. You can see that I could drag that around. Notice it's moving the remote machine as well. Let's see here. There it is. I'm controlling the remote machine with TeamViewer, and that's pretty nice. Let's see here. We've got a little session window down here at the bottom. Shows you your session. You can close all connections, voice, conference. This could be pretty useful, especially for myself as a teacher working with students. All right. Okay, so I've brought up the TeamViewer again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit it. All right. And close this window. And then I'll launch it again, see if the password is the same. So with TeamViewer launched here on my Ubuntu Linux machine, I've got the ID that I'm going to need to connect to and the temporary password. And every time you start TeamViewer, the password should be different. Also, if you want, what you can do is you can go to Extras and go to Options and look at some of the options you have for configuring it. Now, for let's see here. For security, if you want to set a stronger password for that's always going to be available to you, so it doesn't change every time, then you could set a password here, and then that way, when you remote in, it'll always be the same, right? And then the random password for spontaneous access, the one that changed, you could set it for being a little bit stronger than just 4 characters. You could set it for, let's say, 6 characters or 8 characters or 10 characters, something like that, right? Click OK. And now you can see that we've got an 8-character password here, but still the password that I set, the permanent password that I set, will still be good here, right? And you can see that you can define what kind of remote access the people can have with the meeting. You can set up a lot of options here: audio conferencing, video conferencing. You can set up a custom invitation, email invitation here. The other thing that you can do is you can blacklist, set up a blacklist or an access list, so that you can restrict access to just one ID or 2 IDs or something like that, so that just general people that do not have that ID will not be allowed in. Okay. Another nice thing about this TeamViewer, and this is what I read online, was that the way TeamViewer works is that it sets up a tunnel, and I believe it uses UDP over port 80. So with that tunnel, you do not have to open up ports on your router and port forward from your router if you're trying to connect to it from a remote location. Right now I'm just connecting from on the network here, just locally. So let's take a look. Let's see here. I've got the password here, and let's give it a try. So we'll give it one more try here. So I'm going to pull this to the side, and I've installed the Windows version right here of TeamViewer, right? So open that up. Okay, and there's the address that I want to connect to. Notice it here, right? Same address. And so then I'll just say connect to partner, and then put in the password. Let me try this 8-character password, or I can try the password that I set, either way. So I'll try the password that I set to be static every time. And I'll hit OK, and the connection is good. And so that's with the permanent password.